Hey YouTube, this is Babon Samdi, and today I'm bringing you a story that happened to me once in design school. If you don't know, I am a graphic design student, soon to be a graduate design professional. As you can surmise from the title of the video, this is something that happened in my university, which was pretty surreal for me and also for my colleagues that were taking that class with me. A little background information: my college or university, whatever you want to uh, call it, it has a pretty Catholic, Christian Catholic background, and it's not like nuns and priests teach their design or Photoshop. They don't teach religion, but there are some courses that are obligatory and that you have to take them for you to graduate, that have religious undertones. Many of them are more like philosophical or ethical. There is not too much to argue there, but this one is the most Catholic of them all. I mean, the course is called Jesus Christ and the Today's Man. Essentially, it's a crash course over the Catholic religion history and also some of their philosophy. So it's not like they try to indoctrinate you, but that depends on the teacher, because this is a course that every student on university has to take, and there are a lot of careers. So there is a lot of teachers, and some teachers are relaxed, like they just talk on or tell some anecdotes. Some that are funny, some of them are sad, some of them are preaching. Some of them don't care. They just put a presentation or a movie, and that's it. In my case, the teacher was a man that looks a lot like Carl Fredricksen, the old grumpy dude from Up, the Pixar movie Up. He wasn't grumpy, but he was pretty fanatical and pretty critical of some people that are not Catholic or are not religious. For example, sometimes he had some comments like atheists are involuted. That's the reverse of evoluted, whatever that means. However, the classes with him were pretty straightforward. Sometimes he assigned essays or made us watch a movie like The Mission with Robert De Niro and Jeremy Irons. That it was a pretty cool movie with a really nice soundtrack. Since we were graphic design, he made us do, like a book. I don't have that book. My friend has that book. But there is like a compilation of oral or essays and words for the course. So Mr. Fredricksen's class was okay, but all of that changed on the final day of the course, where we were just doing, again, normal stuff. He was giving us our grades, we were comparing, we were reviewing our books that we made. All of that, pretty run-of-the-mill things. Nothing was weird. But then there were just only 10 minutes to finish the course. We were sitting, waiting, talking. "Can I have a minute of your attention, please?" Mr. Fredricksen said. He turned on the projector that all of the classroom had. And then he opened the web browser, and he was putting on Google Images. These are the keywords that he put: serious dead children. And while he was typing that, I was like, what? Why? What's happening? So he typed that, and it was the normal Google page with links to web pages, but then he clicked on the tab to make that pics, the images tab. And what do you think that was there? He also turned off the safe search, so there were like explicit images. I'm not going to describe the images because I'm not a sadist, but you can already conclude what was there. He wasn't happy with that. He was scrolling until he spotted, a pic, any pic that he thought it was relevant for to show us on a big ass screen. He clicked on it and it was, the whole pic, and he said these words that I'm going to translate from Spanish. Christ's face is with the poor. And there was a pic of, the children there. What's the meaning of this? He was scrolling down again, saw another pic with a family, and he clicked on it and said, the face of Christ is on the victims. He was doing this, he was repeating the line, the face of Christ is in, and he was saying violence, blood, in tears. It was a really weird ritual, like exorcism. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Eventually, when the images were repeating from the scroll, he put another search in the search bar, and he put victims of earthquakes, and he did the same thing. He was scrolling, selecting that pic, and said, this is the face of Christ. We have failed him. The whole time that he was doing that, I was in shock, like this. I couldn't do anything else, and I was hearing and watching as also my colleagues that were sitting were squirming. Some of them were like, oh, groaning, or looking down, or looking inside, or covering their eyes. Of course, because who wants to see that? I remember that my friend was like, she just turned out the cell phone and was like watching, like ignoring that, because that. What else can you do? Mr. Frederickson did this for at least 7 minutes, yelling his weird chant, and when he didn't find the images that he wanted, he changes to other stuff. I don't remember what else he put, but he was saying like burned victims, schools full of children that were massacred by Muslim terrorists. Why do you do that? He's like in the last day he become unhinged. I don't know if it's because something the class did, like he was teaching us a lesson. I haven't talked with other persons that he teach this assignment. Maybe it's a ritual that he had. We didn't do anything, as in, stand up and leave or call out on him or saying, what the hell are you doing? Mostly because it was the last day. I mean, design school is pretty rough. So we were tired. We just wanted this to end. So maybe in our brains, just like we switch it off, just ignore this. He's a crazy person. Let's move on. But it's not okay. If someone does that to me again, no, it's different. I should and would do something to stop it. At the end of this weird social experiment that he did, he just turned off the projector and said, well, I hope you have a great time at the course and see you in another occasion. And he left the classroom. I didn't even went to him and said, oh, thanks for the course, something that I usually do for teachers. We just were astounded in silence, sitting there, and we just began to pack our things and slowly go out of that classroom. And that's it. That was the end of Jesus Christ and Today's Man. So I don't know why Mr. Frederickson did that, but why do you think he did it? It was a punishment. It was a sexual pleasure for him to do that. It was just him trolling us. Thank you for listening to the story. I promise you that my next video, it won't be about anything like this topic related. I hope you have a great day.